Why hello, I'm Noel. Here we have XIPHOID XCALIBUR. I'm still having difficulties pronouncing XIPHOID, I hope it's correct, and also Xanthus. These are hard to pronounce, but this bay is awesome. Thank you so much for those of you who joined the unboxing live. I had a great time, and today we're going to be focusing on the review, and I'll include some test battles. So to begin with, I have used XIPHOID XCALIBUR in some test battles already, and it is actually pretty powerful. As for the launcher, it takes time to get used to it, but it seems like a very powerful launcher. And here we have the package, which is huge. I mean, look at it. This is the package of Gatling Dragon. You can see it's higher, it's wider, it's so much bigger. So it says here in Japanese, Kakusei, which is the awakening. And then we have the metal sword popping out. So this is the awesome gimmick of Excalibur. And on the other side of the package we have the BU ability, Burst Ultimate Ability, which is Ultimate Impact. So when the lock starts to rotate and it clicks twice, the metal sword will pop out and the weight balance is going to concentrate on the end of the sword, therefore providing a very powerful impact, Ultimate Impact. And it also says here that the disc will provide Excalibur with high burst resistance, and it's going to be easier to activate Ultimate Impact. So it's like a burst stopper, kind of, and we can already feel that just by rotating Excalibur. Okay, let's see. Click, and you ready? Click. So, the metal sword pops out, and we can see there's a part of Xanthus disc that's sticking out, or actually two parts that are sticking out, and these two spikes will make Excalibur hard to burst. As you can see, the locks are now super solid. After the sword pops out, it will be hard to burst. Today we'll be using some DB base and some BU base against Excalibur and see how this gimmick is going to perform during battles. Okay, here we have XIPHOID XCALIBUR 1. The Excalibur core looks marvelous, the design is beautiful. We have the XIPHOID blade, which is pretty big, wide to be precise. It's not that thick. If you take Gatling Dragon, you can see that Gatling Dragon is thicker, but thicker isn't always better. By looking at the core and the blade, it feels like these two parts are really meant to be together. I mean, it is possible to use the Excalibur core on other blades and vice versa, and the core will still activate the metal sword gimmick, although using Excalibur with XIPHOID is the best option for now. If you guys have any interesting ideas or combo suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. For the armor, we have 1. An interesting armor. So this is a reference to the discs used in the previous Excaliburs, which is pretty cool. As for Prominence Phoenix, for example, it has the 10 armor, and Revived Phoenix had the 10 disc. So I like how they connect new base to the base from the previous series. This is why Beyblade is so fun. Next we have Xanthus disc. This disc also has one pointy end, so we will have the metal sword from the core, we have the pointy end from the XIPHOID blade, and the 1 armor, plus Xanthus. So when all of these are lined together, Excalibur will provide the opposing bay with Ultimate Impact. Super powerful. But if you look carefully, the pointy end of the armor doesn't match the pointy ends from the metal sword from the core and the XIPHOID blade. But that's okay because it still looks awesome. As for the driver, we have Sword Dash. I've heard many opinions about this driver, and it really gets a bad rap, but it will provide Excalibur with extra weight. It does help to keep Excalibur stable. Since Excalibur is quite unstable and it tends to lose stamina, it's not really that bad. But if you're thinking of making a more powerful attack type combo, Extreme Dash or even Metal Extreme are interesting options. Here I have Extreme Dash. When we apply this to Excalibur, the color scheme is fantastic. Okay, moving on to the launcher. So we have a new launcher, guys, the Power Custom Sword Launcher. Yes, this is awesome. The design is so cool. And we also have the power unit. It's clear black, it looks nice. I personally like this Shukurenai launcher, And it also has like a black unit. This one is not the power unit, so this could be like a slight upgrade to Shu's launcher, but the colors are slightly different. The one from the sword launcher is kind of clear, transparent black, and the one from Shu Kurenai's launcher is really black, dark black. It's not clear or transparent. So I've used the sword launcher several times, and honestly, I don't know if the full custom Beyblade launcher or the new sword launcher is better. I don't know. They're both pretty good. If you like ripcord launchers or if you're a fan of sword launcher, you should definitely go for this one. But the bearing unit from the full custom Beyblade launcher can also be applied to the sword launcher. So this could be another powerful upgrade for the sword launcher. But today I'm going to be using the sword launcher in its stock combo, and also I'll be using Excalibur with the full custom Beyblade launcher. We'll see how it performs. But personally, I think that ripcord launchers are pretty fun to use. Here we have the Phoenix launcher. Since I'm a fan of Phoenix and Phi, I still keep this launcher. I think this launcher is pretty cool. And surprisingly, the ripcord from the Phoenix launcher is slightly longer than the one from the new sword launcher. Interesting, isn't it? This is how Excalibur looks like without the stickers, and this is how it looks like with the stickers. By looking at the colors used for Excalibur, this kind of reminds me of Achilles. And speaking of Achilles, we'll be having the new Achilles soon. And I'm planning to do an unboxing video for that one too. So let's just wait for the new Achilles, but today we'll be focusing on Excalibur. In the test battles, I'll be using Excalibur's stock combo and I'll be using it in low mode. Okay, moving on to the weights. XIPHOID Excalibur is 79 grams, which is about the same as Guilty Longinus. So I think it's safe to say that it's a heavy Beyblade, but it really depends which driver you're using. For example, if you're thinking of replacing the Sword Dash driver to Extreme Dash, it will lose weight but it will gain speed, and that's totally up to you. FYI, the Sword Dash driver is around 9.5 grams. Not as heavy as Charged Metal Dash, but still it's pretty good. And there's something interesting about Gatling Dragon and XIPHOID Excalibur. Gatling Dragon stock combo is 83 grams, which is super heavy, but the Gatling Dragon layer is 37 grams. And the layer XIPHOID Excalibur is also 37 grams. So this metal sword does actually add extra weight, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think we've seen enough, and let's move on to the test battles. I'll be using multiple bays during test battles, so I'll let you guys decide how powerful Excalibur is. Are you ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go shoot!
When you put your hand in my jacket, I'm thinking something special. You feel me Sleep in while I make breakfast, watch cartoons and talk about it.